Welcome to Compose Camp GDSC GHRCE. So finally, today we are going to build our first Android application using Jetpack Compose. So let's see what we're gonna build. We're gonna build this beautiful happy birthday card application with image and text and with a from and to text. This is a from text and this is a to, which is Tapish. Okay, so let's get started with our today's schedule. So today, first of all, we'll get introduced with what is IDE. Then we'll create our first Android project. Then we'll create our first application, and then we'll run that application on physical device. Okay, so let's get started with our first topic, which is what is IDE. So basically, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. IDE is nothing but the code editor where you code for building some kind of software. It may be a web application, it may be a Android application, it may be any kind of software. So it is called as IDE. IDE is to make development easier and makes the task of the developer easy. You can assume it like a toolbox, which a mechanical engineer or a carpenter has. Mechanical engineer or carpenter uses the toolbox to create machines and some furnitures respectively. So now let's get moved to the Android Studio. So this is our Android Studio. If you have not installed this Android Studio yet, so Android Basics with Compose. So you can jump to this page by clicking on the link. Here are some units. So you can install the Android Studio by exploring the first unit. Here is a step-to-step guide how to set up and install Android Studio. Okay, so you'll have to come onto this page and start this pathway number 2, set up Android Studio. You can explore this, and here you'll find step-by-step guide. Okay, also I'm giving you the link of this pathway and a tutorial video for downloading the Android Studio and setting up it in your corresponding or respective operating system. Now let's get back to the unit number, basic layout, this one, pathway. Okay, this is a unit 1 only, and it is a basic layout unit. So under that you can find this design a birthday card application. You can complete this pathway as well to create your first birthday card application project, and which is we are going to do today. Okay, so first of all, let's get introduced with some this Android UI. So this is our Android UI. By clicking to this file, you can create a new project here, new project. Okay, and here at this point you will find gradual building or some kind of loading or installing the application in your physical device. All those loadings will be shown here. It is not showing right now, but it will show. Okay, now first of all, let's create a new project. So you can create projects for Android TV, automotive, Wear OS, phone and tablets, but we are going to create our application for phone and tablet. So select this empty compose activity, click next. Here you can give any name to your application. Suppose I'm giving birthday card. Okay. So later here in your Android Studio, if you have not created any application yet and not used Android Studio, you have just installed it right now. So here you'll find example written. So you can give your name here, or you can keep that as it is. This is the location where you want to store your Android application. So I'm storing it in the D drive, in the in D drive. Okay, so I'm selecting it. The project location cannot be at the file system root. So let me select in some, okay, the movies folder. I'm storing it, specified project location, and it's not empty. Okay, no problem. So we can store it in the movies folder, and then you have to select API 21. This is very important. This SDK, minimum SDK, will define on at which minimum level of Android should your application run on. Okay, so Lollipop Android 5.0 will be able to run your application, and 98.8% of the devices can run your application. Okay, so now let's click this finish button, and your Android project will start getting created. So here at this point, as I already told, loadings are getting shown. Gradle is building, so it's getting shown here. Let's wait. It will take some time depending upon the operating system and depending upon the specs of your computer or a laptop. So it might take a long. And if you're doing it first time, it will take long. So you will have to wait for that time. You can pause the video and you can wait until it get completed. Okay, so until it get completely configured, let's discuss about what exactly the code, the pre-written code that we are there. So here there is a onCreate function. OnCreate function is an entry point of our application, like the main function in the Kotlin as we seen in the last video. Similarly, here you can see the composable annotation. This is annotation. All the composables will have this notation. Now I haven't introduced you with the composables, but don't worry. I'm just explaining composable is nothing but a part of UI. So then you are having your preview annotation. This preview annotation defines how to preview your application here. Now, since the project and the Gradle building is not completed, the three options are not came here. Here you will find three options: code, split, and design. So let's the project get loaded. Till that, let's see this code. Now there is a set content method. This set content method combines all UI, that all UI means composables, and will render the complete application. So onCreate is the entry point and set content is a function which will combine all the uh, composables together. So then it is a standard, or we can say the built-in composable, text composable. Its first parameter as a text. You can pass any string here and it will render on the application. Then this is how you can pass parameters. This is same as that of the Kotlin function, but this is the if you the part of the code which I have select function, which is a normal function which we write in the Kotlin. But with this annotation, it becomes composable. So this complete is nothing but composable. It's importing some libraries. Yeah. So as we can see now, our project is ready. Still, it's loading something. Yeah, updating indexes. Yeah. Okay. So now it's complete. Our application is complete. Now, as I told you, there are three tabs here: code tab, split tab, and the design tab. The code tab contains only code. You can see only codes here. While coding, it's good to like press or active this code tab. Okay. Then there is a split tab on which you can see the preview of your application. I've started the build. So when this build will complete, uh, the UI which is made using whatever the code pre-written came here will be shown here. Okay. So this is loading or the status of the task, and here you will find the result and the time at what time the task was started. So let's wait for some time until it get built. Then here you will only find design. Okay, this split means code and design both. This code means only code, and this design means only design. Okay, so this is how this three tabs works. Okay, until it get completed, let me introduce with this file structure. So this is our application. Here are some of the views you can see. You can see package views, project files views, and Android view. So you have to be in Android view. Then there's a manifest folder, then Java folder, and then resources folder. This resources folder contains drawables, map, values, XML. So drawable means anything that can be drawn onto your mobile screen. Okay. So like it may be image, vectors. Okay. So that kind of things can called as a drawables. Then this is a Java folder which we are going to use. Now this is you can see the package name which I told you that you can change it to your name. So com dot whatever the name is, and then the app name. Then this is main dot activity dot kt, which is by default open here. Okay. So then this is a resource manager. On the left hand side, this is the resource manager. Here you can import the drawables. Like these two are the default drawables come up with the Android application that we built using the empty compose activity. Now, if you want to import your own images, you can press this plus icon, then import drawables, and you can select any image you want. Like I'm having this fourth.png, third.png, or this android.png, which we're gonna use to create the background of our application. So I'll tell you where from you should download this image, and then we will let's we'll see how to import and how to add the image in our Android application. So um, it's taking too long to build this Gradle because it's first time. So we'll have to wait. I'm stopping the video for now, and will like I'll come back when this Gradle build will complete. Okay, so our Gradle build has completed, and whatever we have written, not we have written, but whatever came pre-written here in our empty compose activities shown here. Like you can see that hello Android is getting printed on the screen. Let's understand this code how it is working. So as I already told you that the set content method. Uh, let's go back to the PPT and let's see. So the set content is used to define the layout through the composable functions. So composable functions are getting combined, all the composables, and then those are rendered onto the Android screen. So on create function, I also introduced you with this function. It is nothing but an Android entry point of our application, and it calls the other functions to build the UI. Okay. So now what is composable? Composable is nothing but a small unit of a component or a UI. As I already told that a web application or Android application has many components. Like it may be a card, it may be a carousel, it may be a navigation bar, and many other things. So all functions marked with @composable are the composable in Jetpack Compose. Composable can be understood as a part of UI. Okay. So then difference between normal function and composable function. I already told you that what is the difference between this normal function and composable function. The first difference is naming conventions are different. Like composable function names are capitalized. So this is the point which I not told you, but all the composable function will be having the capital letter as its first letter. The function will be capitalized. Function name will be capitalized. Okay. Like greetings is having G as capital. If I make it small, it will give me an warning or an error. See error. So this is error I'm getting because it is case sensitive. So, but I got some warning here. So let me hover my cursor here. Now you can see that composable function that returns unit should start with uppercase letter. So this is giving me some warning like it should start with uppercase letter. So let me undo that and let's get back to PPT. Then second point is at the rate composable annotation about each composable function. So normal function don't have this at the rate composable annotation. And then third point, composable function can't return anything. So if you are coming from the web application development like React or some other stuff, you might know that it returns the components. So there is a component. Here we are dealing with composables. So they are both kind of similar, but the Jetpack Compose uses declarative UI in which it does not return anything, but it just call the composables, built-in composables to build the UI. Okay, so now, what is this default preview function? We already discussed about it. This one, it is just previewing. This is the code which is only for previewing this one. It is not important for the application. This is just for the sake of showing this whatever the written here. So this is one of the advantage of Jetpack Compose because it allow you to see whatever you are coding here immediately without actually running the application in your physical or the emulator. So so now show background. There is a show background property in this preview. So what it does is show background. Here you can see that the white background is there. So that is because of show background equal to true. If it is false, the it will look like this, the transparent background. Okay. So now let's get started with our coding part and let's build our application, which will be a birthday card application. So let's first try to manipulate some text here. This is hello name. So I will say hi name. So you can see that immediately whatever I'm writing here is getting updated on the default preview. Okay. So first of all, let's create one function which will like render two texts that we wanted. Let me open the how we have to build. So this is what we have to build, and we can see that there are two texts, this one and this one. So let's build those first. So how? Let me write from scratch how to build a composable. So first of all, you will have to annotate the composable with the @composable, and then normally whatever we write while creating the function that we have to write. So fun keyword. Then let me give the name as birthday card or birthday card with text. Okay. So here I am gonna pass two texts. So argument I'm gonna pass here. Okay. So let me pass one argument as from. So this will be of type string. Then I'll pass two. Okay, this will also be of type string. Okay, cool. Now here I'm gonna render two text composable. So these are the built-in composable. This is text composable. In it accepts one parameter text named argument, and then here I'm gonna pass happy birthday and whatever uh, two. Okay, and the dollar sign. So this is one text, and then one another text composable I'm gonna write here, which will be text equal to uh, dash and from. So from I'm writing here. Okay. So this is a template literal in Kotlin. Okay. So yeah, it's okay. Now let's write this function here. Okay. Sorry. Let me copy this and paste it here and here. So it was giving me an error because the function greetings was not defined, but now it is defined. But there is one problem that we are accepting two arguments and we are just passing one. So let me uh, pass one another argument, like I'm passing GDSC here. And here also we have to pass. This is nothing but just a preview. So I'm passing that here as well. So let me build and refresh the UI. So the Gradle build will start. It will not take much time as it was taken initially. So it will take some time, a minute. So yeah, it is rendering the preview. Okay. So yeah, we can see that the two texts are getting overlapped on one another. So this is a preview tab, and you can see that there are two texts: "Happy birthday" and this Android or GDSC, whatever written is there, getting overlapped. So this is getting overlapped because we have defined two texts, but we haven't defined how they should be arranged. So to specify that how they should be arranged, we need to wrap these two text composables into one composable, which will be a column, because column is like this vertical. So we need this text also in the vertical. So we need to wrap these two in one column composable. So you can click on this. You can, first of all, what you have to do, you have to select this like this, and you have to take your arrow here on a bulb. Okay, or you can directly print, write that. So what you have to do, you have to select surround with widget. Okay, you can surround this with widget, surround with the column. Okay, so as soon as you surround it with the column, you have to save the code, and when you go to split and build and refresh, it will show text one above the other. So that's what we wanted. Let's wait. So this syntax is nothing but a trailing lambda syntax. You can also have this kind of thing here, and you can pass any padding or whatever you want to do with this column. You can do in this particular argument. Okay, so so you can see that now the text is appearing one over the other. Now we want a background image over here. So for that, let's create one another composable. So first of all, let's annotate with a composable, and then then birthday. Okay, birthday card with background. Okay, so I'm creating this. Instead of writing this background, I'm just writing BG. I'm little lazy to write the such big names. So here also we'll pass this from as a string and two as a string. Okay, so basically this text will be on this composable because this will be a background. So background will be behind and the text will be above this. Okay, so now first of all, let's see how to import image in our Android application. So for that, as I already introduced with this resource manager, so you have to go here, you have to click on this and you have to import the drivers. But let's first download the image. So you can download the image from this code lab. basic build a basic layout, and here add image to your Android application. You have to select. You have to take this code lab, and you'll find image here in the setup your application. So here you can see open the image for your birthday card application. You have to click this link. It will redirect you to GitHub, and there from you can download the image. So yeah, this is our GitHub, and you can click download here, or you can directly right click on this image and you can save image, and you have to save this image on a location where you can find it quickly. So let me rename it the same. uh, I'll override it. Okay, so this is how you have to download this image. Okay, I am closing this tab now and getting back to the Android Studio. So you have to now, by coming to this resource manager, you have to click this plus icon to import the drawable. I have already introduced with the drawable. Drawable is nothing but a thing which can be drawn onto the screen. Now you have to select this Android party. If you are not finding it, you are type like this. Okay, type Android party. Okay, you have to write exactly. So you'll find this and you have to press OK. And you have to click density and here no density. Okay, density, no density. Then you have to click next and then you have to import. Now this file will the ID of this file will be generated. Okay, I mistakenly closed the main.activity.kt. Okay, so I opened it. Now, what I was saying is the ID of that image will be created into the r.txt, a special kind of file. Okay, so r.txt is a special kind of file in which will contain the ID of that drawable or the image. So first of all, let's create one image here. So for that, I'll create image equals to painter resources is a function which we use to import that image into our code. Okay, source code. So let me enter. So this is the painter resources function. Now into this IDE, as I already told you that the r.txt is a file which contains the uh, ID of that image. So you have to say r.drawable, then the name of the image. So Android party is the name of the image. So we'll say that. Okay. So this is how we import the image into our code. So now this will contain that Android party image. Now we have to draw this image onto our Android application. So for that we have image composable. So this is the image composable in which you have to give the painter. Painter is the first argument to this image, and we'll say image. And then the second argument is a content description. This is giving me still error because accessibility is the most important feature of any Android application, and we haven't passed the content description. Like if you are used the img tag in the web applications, there are two parameters in the image which are mandatory. The first one is src and the second one is alt. So alt is the alternative of this alt is content description. So basically this content description, uh, okay, I'm not getting intelligence means I have did something wrong. So let me write this image like this, and you can see a bunch of options. So image vector, painter. The first one is a option that we need. So just press enter. You will get like this. Okay. So in this painter, you have to pass this image whichever you have imported. So like this, and in the content description, you can write any kind of string. Okay. Or I'm just simply passing the null because it's a background image. Okay, so this is how we create the image. Now, if I save this and build and refresh, it will do nothing because we have not connected this, we have not called this function. So, okay, this should be bg. And let's call this function now. I'm clicking this, and instead of this function, I'm calling this one. Okay, so let me save this, and let me refresh this. Yeah, so we can see some green sort of image here. So why it is showing like this default preview is not working right now. It's not showing the image, but let me turn on the mirroring. uh, I have run this application into my Android application, sorry, Android phone, and it's completely running fine. So let me show you. So I'm using this software because emulator is not running on my Android Studio because it's too heavy to run on my Android emulator on Android Studio. So this is how you can see that the image is getting shown onto this application. uh, yeah, birthday card application. So I'll just run on this, and you can see that the card is getting shown, but it's not getting stretched completely, fully height. Okay, it's completely stretching the complete width, but not the height. So let's see what can be done to do completely stretch this image. So for that, we have some modifiers which we can use and some properties on the image that we can use. So let's try to do that. So first of all, let's use some modifiers. Now, what is modifier? Modifier is like CSS in web application development. So what does CSS do? CSS is used to design and align some elements inside the image or a particular application. Okay. So the same task is done by this modifier in Android application development in Jetpack Compose. So let's use this modifier. Now what I want is to completely stretch this image vertically and horizontally. So modifier dot fill max width means completely fill this width. Okay, whatever the width of the Android device will be, you have to fill this width. Okay, then fill max height. Okay, so this will completely fill the height of the Android phone. Okay, now let me save this and refresh. And I'm refreshing it on my Android device as well. I don't know why this default preview is not working. It was working, but now it's not working. Okay, I guess this is why, because the width and the height of the image, the default width and the height of the image is this one. We need to wrap this image under one widget, or sorry, not widget, but the composable, which will allow this image to stretch completely onto the Android phone screen. So that widget is nothing but the box widget. So box widget is a standard widget. You can read about this widget. Here at box layout. So let me click this. So this is a box layout. Three basic standard layout elements in the compose are column, row, and box. So we are studied about this column. We are not studied about this row, but we'll definitely study about this box composable. And you have to learn about column and row composable in the previously. So you have to complete this complete code lab to get aware with this column, box, and row completely. Okay. So although I'm telling you, you have to complete this code labs. Okay. So box layout is one of the standard layout elements in the compose. Use box layout to stack the elements. So box layout is basically stacking the elements one over the other. Okay. On the top of one another. Box layout also lets you configure the specific alignment of the elements that it contains. So yeah. So let's use this box layout in our Android application. So you have to just surround this with widget and you have to select the container and it will by default like okay, it will by default surround it with a box widget. So now if you save this and you build and refresh once, it will completely stretch this image to this complete height. So let's wait until it gets finished. So let me run this on my Android application as well, Android device as well. So it's getting built. The app is getting launched on my Android phone. Okay, so still the image is not getting covered. Okay, so we will also have to apply one more property, which is not a modifier, but it's a property of the image, which will be the content scale. Okay, which will be content scale dot crop. Okay, we have to apply this to completely stretch this image and uh, without changing the resolution of this image. So let's do this one and let's wait for the gradual build completion. So now we can see that the scale of the content is completely like it is completely scaled without changing the resolution of the image. Like sometimes you see that the image is the height of the image is way more larger than the width, and the like the image don't shows very as it was. So its scale gets scattered. So to restrict that, we can use this property content scale equal to content scale dot crop. So now our background is ready. We just have to apply this text onto this background. So just for that, you have to do just copy the sorry, copy the name of this function. Copy the name of this function, which is birthday card with text. So yeah, and you just have to paste this function name below this image, okay, because this is a box, this is a background, and above this background the this component will composable will come. So here we have to pass the same from and to parameters which we are accepting inside this function. So this one and this one we have to pass here, okay. So let me save this and build and refresh. So let's wait. So yeah, you can see that the text is here. Happy birthday GDSC by Android. So yeah, we are getting the text here. So let's try to change this text. Happy birthday uh, by GDSC and to Tapish. Okay, so mm, let me copy this here as well. Okay, let me save this, and yeah, it automatically shown here. So now we have to increase the size of this text. Okay, so to increase the size of this text, we can use the direct property which is on the text, which is the font size property. Okay, so here you can specify the size of the font. So I'm specifying it as 30 SP. Now what is SP? SP is scalable pixels. So if you increase or decrease the size of the text or the font in your setting of your Android phone, it will get automatically aligned along with that setting. Okay, so now you can see that there is a red line behind below this particular SP. SP is a unit and you need to import it. So you have to just hover your cursor over SP and you have to press this import. It will get automatically imported in this all imports. So here you can see on the line number 16, SP has been imported. So let me collapse this as well. And now your text size will get increased if you save this and you press this build and refresh. So the size happy birthday the peach will get increased. Also, let's increase the size of this one as well until it get built. So font size equal to around 20.dp will be, sorry, not dp, sp will be fine. So let's save this. Yeah, you can see that the text size is looking nice now. Let's build and refresh it again so that the font size for this GDC will also get increased to its to 20 sp. Okay, now now let's see our UI. So there is some gap from left from top, okay, to this text, and this GDSC is not below this. It will be here on the right hand side. So how to do that? Let's see. Okay, so we need some padding from the top and the left of for this text. So first of all, let's write some modifiers for this. So modifier equal to modifier dot let's first completely span this element to this width. Okay, so for that we'll say fill max width. Okay, fill max width. So it will completely fill this. The width of this text will be filled with this complete width. Okay, now then we need some padding from top and left. So if you want to format the text, you can press Control Alt and L. Control Alt L will format your text like this. Okay. So the padding. So padding you can specify as like start. You can say specify the start padding. Then you can specify the top padding. Then you can specify the like end padding. Then you can specify the bottom padding. Okay, like so. But we want only two padding, which will be a start, which is nothing but a left padding, and the top padding. So start padding I want is 16 dp. So DP is a unit which we use to specify the padding margin, etc. So let me hover here it. So you can see that red line is also coming behind below this. So you have to import it like this. Okay, so the unit has been imported into this imports here. Okay, line number 16 again. Now we need 16 dp padding from left hand side, and we need this padding from top as well. This much 16 dot dp. So let me save this. If I build and refresh, I'll see some padding from left and top. So until it is getting built, let me introduce you with one more modifier, uh, which will be wrap content width. So wrap content width will allow us to align this text horizontally, okay, along its width. Okay, so we will align it at the start because we need this text at the start. वैसे तो it is already in the start by default, so we don't need to specify this, but let's try to specify alignment. So here how you specify it. This is a modifier wrap content width, and inside it accepts the named argument align. Okay, so alignment dot start. So let's see if there is any change. There should not be any change because the by default alignment of this text is also start. So even after running the build, it will not change. Okay, now we just want to align this GDSC at this place on the right hand side. So for that, we have to give this same properties to this text as well. But let's write it. So modifier equal to modifier dot fill max width. Okay, the spelling is wrong. So modifier dot fill max width. Then the padding we have to give. I'm formatting the code, and the padding for this GDSC is uh, okay. So padding for the GDSC will be from right hand side only, and it's at good height from the above text. So we don't need the top padding. We just need the right padding because this text is gonna be on the right. So to give the right padding, we have to give this int property. Let's give it as 16 dp. Then after this, let's give some wrap content width. Wrap content width. Okay. So why I'm getting error here? Okay. Okay. Mistakenly opened the search. So let's. I'm still getting some errors. I don't know why. Okay. Let me remove these modifiers and let's try once again. So comma modifier equal to modifiers modifier dot fill max width. Then then we need some padding from the end, which will be 16.dp. Then we need this wrap content width. It will be align equal to alignment, okay, alignment dot end because we want this text to be on the right hand side. So let me show you how this works. Wrap content. I have to go. Yeah, this is how it works. When you do alignment dot top, it will be aligned to at the top of the box or the uh, uh, like the space. Okay, when you do alignment dot start, it will be on the left hand side, end on the right hand side, alignment dot bottom on the bottom. So this is how it works. So I need this on end, and let me save this and build and refresh. So our intended application should get created now. So let's wait until the Gradle build get completed, and along with this, we are running this application on our uh, Android application as well. Sorry, physical device. You can directly connect your physical device via USB cable uh, to your laptop, and then you will recognize this device here. If you are not recognizing this device here, you need to check. You need to enable the USB debugging in your Android application. You can enable that by going to your Android application phone. So let me show you. So this is my Android phone. You can go to setting, and here there will be a developer option. If you are not finding a developer option, let me go to this more setting. Uh, okay, the app has run, and yeah, our app is looking cool. Yeah, it's looking nice. Now you can write the name of your friend here, and you can write your name here, and you can share this Android application with your friend whose birthday is coming soon. So let's see how to enable the developer option. So here is the developer options. If you're not finding it, you will have to go to applications. Oh no, no, not the applications. About phone. Yeah, you have to go to the about phone, and here on the build number, where is the build number? Software. Yeah, software version also. You can click on the software version or build number 7 times, and your developer option will get created. But you can see that the toast, no need, you are already in the developer mode. So if you have to go and you are not finding any developer option, you have to come into the about phone, and you can click this software version or build version 7 times, and the developer option will get enabled. So under this developer option, you can enable the USB debugging. Yeah, here you can see that USB debugging is enabled. So you have to enable this, and you are good to go and run your Android application into your physical device. So congratulations once again to create your first Android application, a birthday card application. Now you can share this onto your LinkedIn as well. Don't forget to tag GDSC GHRCE. You can also keep your statuses and WhatsApp statuses, and you can share with your friends as well. So thank you so much for attending this session. If you have any doubts, you can contact me on LinkedIn, or you can mail me via this email. So thank you so much. Let's meet in the next video, which will be a final video. So don't skip that video. We're gonna build a dice roller application where we will be using states and many other things. So you are going to learn a lot. So let's meet in the another video. Till then, bye bye.